Hi, in this video, I am going to show you how to change the color of any kind of object. So I'm going to be looking at the eyes here and, okay, I'm going to zoom right in. And so if I wanted to change the color of her eyes, there are different ways of going about it. However, I'm going to use the hue saturation adjustment tool. So basically, I'm going to click on that on the hue saturation adjustment tool. And now what I'm going to do is click on colorize, okay? And if I change the hue, it's going to change the hue of the entire photograph, as you see. I'm going to increase the saturation so that you can see exactly what's going on. So we're going through all the range of colors. And okay, let's say if I want to make her eyes more blue, I'm going to stop at maybe about here, maybe down a little bit. I'm going to decrease the saturation. Okay, now I don't have to decide exactly what color I want to have right now because that can be changed. But basically what's happening is that I've changed the hue and the saturation of the entire layer, and I only want it to affect the eyes. So this is my layer mask, and it's white, and white is reveal and black is conceal. So I can either keep it white and then erase it from everything else. However, that would be too much work. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on the layer mask and I'm going to invert it. So I do Command I to invert it. So now everything, that whole adjustment layer is hidden. And now I'm going to paint it on where I would like to have it. So I click B for brush on the keyboard. And I make sure that this color in the foreground is white and the flow of the brush is at 6%. I'm going to zoom right in on her eyes and I am just going to brush it in. Now, you have to be careful where you do brush it in because if you go over the line, it's going to extend that color to other parts. But so if that happened and you want to get rid of it, no problem. All you have to do is change the foreground color to black. To switch quickly between the black and the white, you click on the X key. I'm going to change it back to black, and I'm going to paint over that area to make sure that it's not gone onto her eyelid or her eyelashes, and even here, the whites of her eyes. So just clean it up. I'm going to go back to white and I'm going to just make sure that I've got that color a little bit more around the edges. Okay, and again, the color right now, it doesn't really matter because I can change that later on. So I'm just painting it in. If I feel like I'm not close enough, I'm just going to zoom in. To zoom in, guys, you have to click on the magnifying glass. And if you have the plus sign, you're going to zoom in and then you go option click to zoom out. I'm going to go back to B for brush and then finish painting. Okay, so you may or may not like the color at this point. If you like the color, but you think that it's a little bit too intense, what you're going to do is you're going to lower down the opacity so you can bring that down. And this is with it completely off. So that's her natural color. And if I bring that slider up, then we're going to be adding a little bit more color. Okay, so you might not want to go to 100%. Maybe 50% is something that you like. Okay, now let's say if we want to change that color altogether, let's double click on click on the hue saturation layer. And now I can change the color of her eyes completely by changing that slider, the hue. So now she's got green eyes, really green, to a cyan, blue, purple, etc. Okay, so I'm going to leave it maybe about here. Okay. All right, let's try it again. We'll try it with the color of the lipstick. So I'm going to do a new hue saturation layer. I'm going to click here, click on hue saturation. Okay, now, again, I'm going to do it with the entire photograph. To start off with, I click on colorize. And now I can bring up that color. I'm going to increase the saturation for now. Okay, and I'm going to find something that I like. Bring that down. I can change the lightness of it. So that's going to make it darker or brighter. Add a little bit more red. Okay, so let's say I liked that color. I'm going to click here. White is reveal. We want to conceal it all, and then we're going to paint it back in. So I'm going to invert it, Command I on my keyboard. V for brush. I'm going to be painting over it with white. Flow is still at 6%. And paint over the lips here. And it's just a really small change, which is fine. Again, this is one way of doing it. There are other ways of doing change of color. You really have to experiment with the different ways of doing adjustments, okay? All right, so let's see. It's not bad. If I click on it, I'm going to be able to change the color again. So here we go to purple. Now when we go to the different colors, you can see that the masking is not perfect. So let's keep it at the green for now. And I'm going to just check on my masking. I'm going to go back to B for brush, click on the layer mask, make sure that I'm in white. And now I'm going to fix the masking. So wherever I see the pink, I'm going to brush over it. Doesn't have to be too intense there, just a little bit of a hint of the color. Okay, that's going to be fine because you're not even going to notice when we go back to the other color. Okay, I'm going to bring it back to a pink. All right, I'm going to zoom out. And that's it.